Hi there, my name is Luke Persian, as you already know, and this is episode 2 of my weekly broadcast. Let's go over the films I'll be reviewing this week. Ted, American Reunion, Red Tails, Brave, Sahara, Lockout, and Bernie. Let's get on with the reviews. Today we're going to start with Red Tails. This is George Lucas's most recent venture, very much in the style of The Phantom Menace. If you were to sub out X-Wings for World War II bomber pilots, you're gonna pretty much have the exact same film. The entire film is just extreme close-ups inside the cockpit, people with their pilot masks on, shouting out catchy one-liners. The fighting is actually pretty well done. They even were able to book Bryan Cranston, the guy from Breaking Bad, or Malcolm in the Middle's father. They used him for 2 scenes, built him up as he was going to be like the bad guy in the film, and then they just completely lost him. That being said, Neo actually does a pretty good job. He still has his hat on in every scene. What does the guy's head look like? I have no idea. The pilots don't really seem like they have their lives at stake at going into each mission. Do they realize they're in the middle of World War II? Yippee-ki-yay, can't wait to get up there and shoot down some Nazis. You're in the middle of a war zone. No, you should at least have some form of fear of being shot down. It's chaos. You can get shot down in the matter of seconds. George Lucas really got his hands on this project. He really did. I was only able to reward this film 2 crowns. Our next film is Ted. Going into this film, I was excited. The comedic elements of this film were rather disappointing. A lot of it fell flat, and the humor was so lowbrow that I found myself cringing hearing some of the jokes they were pulling out. It was pathetic. For all of what you will be disappointed in the comedic elements, you're going to be so surprised by the substance of the story. They create such a sweet, heartfelt experience. It has a really good message. And for those reasons, I was able to reward Ted with 4 crowns. The next film on our plate is American Reunion. Now, here's a saga that I've lived through since I was a child. This will really take you back. There's a lot of deja vu moments. They really connect everything together and allow the viewer to get a real catharsis of emotional release by the end of the film. You've gone on such a journey with these characters. Much in the same way that I went on that journey with Toy Story or Harry Potter. It's the conclusion of a story. Some of the comedic elements used in the film we've grown out of. That being said, they hold true to the essence of what American Pie stood for. The naivety about life, the new coming-of-age story, it hits at home. It hits at home. Through awkward talks with her father, sexed up apple pies, just Stifler debauchery, it has it all. And that cathartic emotional release of finally finishing out the franchise together, and the journey we went through as an audience as well with our characters, I was able to reward American Reunion with 4 crowns. Our next film is Guy Pearce in Lockout. Guy Pearce plays a character named Snow. He has no need of a first name. He's a man that gets things done. Now, this is a sci-fi film that literally draws upon elements of every sci-fi film that's ever been made before. Let me sum it up for you. The president's daughter, only daughter, has been kidnapped. In a prison held hostage by loose convicts, this girl has been taken. Yeah, I'm not kidding. The girl from Taken is the girl that is taken. She has become typecast as a girl that gets held hostage. That's what she does in movies now. What can amp it up to the next level? Oh yeah, it's in space. Yeah, we're in a space prison. Booyah! You would think this is a job for a group of Marines. We must get the most elite group of military tacticians to enter this building and get the president's daughter out. But no. This is a job that can only be done by one man, Guy Pearce. Every single line that he delivers is a sarcastic wisecrack. It's non-stop. If you think you're going to enjoy this film, you're going to. In terms of cinematic achievement and ambitious nature, no, this is not a good film. But hell, it's fun. Guy Pearce does what he can with the story, but to no avail. I was only able to reward Lockout with 2 crowns. The next film on our roster is Pixar's new animated feature, Brave. Pixar making this so shortly after How to Train Your Dragon, and they look so similar, especially the father character. They're pretty much an identical replication. But pleasantly surprised. I don't know why I ever doubt you, Pixar. You are geniuses. It was such a beautiful story, and I had no idea that it was about a woman being transformed into a bear. Anyone know that? No, they gave none of that away. In essence, though, this film really comes down to mothers being able to talk with their daughters. A girl who's a tomboy doesn't want to be married off. She wants to determine her own destiny. From the lovable side characters to the witty, well-paced out delivery of brilliant jokes. This film has it all. You gotta love Pixar. They do a great job, and they know what they're doing. And they are truly masters of the art of storytelling. And for those reasons, I was able to reward Brave with 4.5 crowns. Our next film has been around for a little while, but I never really got around to seeing it. Matthew McConaughey in Sahara. Matthew McConaughey plays our lead protagonist, a treasure hunter slash salvage finder slash Navy SEAL slash love boat. McConaughey travels the world in a very Raiders of the Lost Ark fashion on a journey to discover a ship during the Civil War period, which has somehow ended up in Nigeria. It is pretty much a span of just various action sequences. Along the way, he meets Penelope Cruz. Somehow, without very good explanation, Matthew McConaughey seems to think in order to get his goal accomplished, what he really needs to do is help Penelope Cruz. The connecting of the two stories kind of just happens. It's a very fun and entertaining experience. You never have any inkling or feeling that any of our characters are being put in a life-risking jeopardy. There's no chance Matthew McConaughey or his handy-dandy sidekick is gonna get killed, and there's no darkness. For my own twisted pleasure, I was able to reward Sahara with 2.5 crowns. Now our final film of the week is a very interesting one, starring Jack Black in a Golden Globe nominated role in Bernie. This is based on a true story. It's a dark comedy. Jack Black plays the role of a convicted murderer who is slightly effeminate, church-going mortician who dresses bodies for a living, loved by all in this small town of Texas. Now it's done in the style of a documentary. The characters in this documentary are hilarious. So well developed, they seem like real people and you wouldn't question it. Jack Black, best performance Jack Black has ever given in a film. He completely transforms, but you'll be rooting for Jack Black the whole time. Due to Jack Black's complete and utter transformation, it upped the performance of this film to 4 crowns. 4 crowns for Bernie. Now it comes down to the time we've all been waiting for. Our Royal Stinker and King of the Week. This was a tough one, people. But George Lucas, you done it again. Red Tail's Royal Stinker of the Week. For our King of the Week this week, for the first time ever in the history of our 2-episode broadcast, the movie that got the most crowns is not our King of the Week. Ooh. Instead, I decided to reward our King of the Week to the film Bernie. I really highly recommend that you go out and see this film. Keep in mind, Jack Black was nominated for Best Actor for a Comedic Role for a Golden Globe nomination. This is a great film, and it's very unique, and for that reason, I was able to reward Bernie with our King of the Week crown. Now tune in next week for our next set of 7 films on our way to the big 365. This has been Luke Persian's 365 film reviews in 1 year.